Hey you guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Hannah with Mitchell's Lawn Care, and you might wonder what we're doing in the gym. Well, in case you missed it, a few weeks ago while we were doing the gym reveal, we asked you guys if you were interested in going over some exercises to stretch, strengthen, rehabilitate, and make yourselves feel better, because all of us have very physical jobs. And at the end of the day, you've got tired, achy back, feet, elbows, knees, and we want to help with that. A lot of you already knew that I have a background in certified personal training and nutritional consulting. But again, I am far from a doctor, and anytime you start something new, especially if you have pre-existing conditions, you need to talk with your doctor first, because we want to be sure that you are doing what they are comfortable with you doing. One of the first suggestions that got sent in, actually it got mentioned multiple times, was my feet hurt. I have these tired, achy feet at the end of the day, or I have plantar fasciitis. So I wanted to do an all-encompassing video today about some common foot issues that affect not only landscapers, but pretty much anyone who is on their feet all day. So the two that I would like to really stress today and give you some solutions for are plantar fasciitis and Hallux rigidus. Now, plantar fasciitis, most people have already heard of that. That terminology is very common. Oh, I've got plantar fasciitis. And if you've ever had it, it's extremely difficult to treat. It is extremely stubborn to get to go away. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of focus on your feet. Now, plantar fasciitis is a thick band of tissue. It's an inflammation of the thick band of tissue that goes from your heel to your toes. So a lot of times people will have this stabbing heel pain, or they will have a tightness under the arch of their foot, and it just really cripples you, especially first thing in the morning and late at night. So the first thing that I would recommend, if you're not already doing this, is a lot of stretching. So what most people don't take into account when you have issues with your feet is it can be related to your ankle flexion. Your ankle mobility is really important. So if you're one of those people that when you start to squat down, immediately your feet come off the floor, that means that you have tightness in your ankles. So anytime that we stretch, we're going to really focus on the flexion of the ankle and extension of the ankle. So if I'm here and I start to come up, but my foot comes off the ground, if that's all I can do, that's all I can do. So what we're going to start doing is, at the range of motion that's comfortable for you, we're going to start pushing that knee forward while your heel stays on the ground. And you'll feel that where that's going to be stretching is back here at your Achilles tendon and the back of your ankle. So you're always going to focus on keeping that heel flat on the ground as you're stretching. Now, most of you already know this, but for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And with that line of thinking, for every stretch that we do, we want to do the antagonistic stretch for that stretch. So you can do this partner assisted, or you can just do the exercise by yourself. So we're going to flex and then pull back. Now, one of the ways that you can stretch by yourself is with a towel assisted. We're going to really stretch that and stretch those toes as far back as we can. And most of the time you're going to feel that in your calf and the back of your ankle and your Achilles tendon. So if, and this is a big if for some people, if you're able to reach your toes, you can wrap that hand around and pull that big toe back, or you can also do that yourself by crossing that leg over the other leg. So we're going to pull and push and really force that ankle to move. And in doing so, it's going to lengthen and stretch the bottom of the foot. Now, so those are some very simple stretches. Those assist not only with plantar fasciitis, but the second condition that I mentioned that a lot of you have probably had and you didn't realize it, you just thought your feet hurt, is called Hallux rigidus. So Hallux rigidus, some people, I believe people call it turf toe. That is an inflammation of the big joint of the big toe. That can also be mistaken or confused with or contribute to arthritis of the big toe joint. This can be incredibly painful, you guys. So Hallux rigidus is something that if you think you have it, you need to really aggressively get started with your physical therapy exercises. This is also definitely something you would want to go see someone like an orthopedist for, because they have really specialized programs, but these are some preventative exercises that we can do. So we're going to do all of our lengthening and stretching exercises. We're going to flex our ankles. We're going to work on mobility. Now, these are super inexpensive. These are actually like lacrosse balls. They came as a set, and they're super inexpensive. I think they were, I don't know, just a few dollars. I'm going to have Mitchell link these in the video. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll the bottom of the foot on that lacrosse ball, and this does not feel good. If you have pain, it does not feel good. So one of the physical therapy articles that I read on this, it said that you want to turn your toes into claws when you are focusing on the ball. Is you're going to claw the ball. So you're going to squeeze it, and what that's going to do is it's going to force those toes to work so that when you are normally walking, it is not as much effort, but you're getting that mobility when you're rolling the foot. Now, I'm sure you guys have already noticed that I have a frozen water bottle, and it's kind of warm in here, so this water bottle is rapidly thawing, but this is a super inexpensive and very practical solution to your feet problems. So if you can stand it, ice is a very effective anti-inflammatory, especially for your feet. So if you've got hot, tired, achy feet at the end of the day, you definitely are going to benefit from rolling on that water bottle. So that's not only going to decrease that inflammation, but it's going to increase a little bit of the flexibility in the foot as you mold that foot over top of the bottle. And you can do this for up to a minute at a time. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate. I've got this frozen water bottle. I'm going to alternate that. You can do all of this from a seated position, but I'm going to alternate rolling that water bottle with something called a towel curl, and I'm going to use my sweaty t-shirt. So without moving my foot off the ground, I'm going to use my toes. And let me just tell you, if you've not already been doing this, you will get a cramp like nobody's business, because it will surprise you just how little in everyday movement we move our toes. So just for food for thought, if this is something you're not used to doing and you're limiting the mobility of your foot and you're kind of just walking around, clunking around, that is where a lot of these issues stem from, is from lack of mobility. Lack of mobility in the feet and the toes, lack of mobility in the ankles, and the way that you walk. If you pay attention to your gait and your footwear, you can probably solve a lot of your issues. I know that there are some very inexpensive orthotics out there, plantar fasciitis and stuff like that, Dr. Scholl's, Good Feet. And if you want to go the more expensive route, you can always speak with an orthopedist or somewhere like Fleet Feet, Good Feet store. They can actually give an analysis of your gait, get you some custom orthotics. So if you're having pain, it is not something you should wait on. So we are definitely going to be aggressive with this. Again, these are my towel curls. And of course, I'm going to be doing this with both feet, not just the affected one. Okay. Toe curls, lacrosse ball rolls, and I'm really just kind of getting in there, and remember to squeeze the ball with your toes. Maybe around a minute for each of these. And then I'm going to supplement that with my frozen water bottle. And you can just have a foot bottle in your freezer. You can just write on it with a Sharpie and get that bad boy every night. And then when you're done with it, you can put it back in the freezer. So this is, you know, for a few pennies on the dollar, you've got a very effective treatment for your foot issues. Now, if you go to a gym or you have a little home gym, chances are you have seen something like this. This is by Sport Tech. It is actually a stretch assist for your calves, and it is fantastic. So if your gym doesn't have one of these, I'm going to have Mitchell Amazon link this in the description of the video. So what this does is, again, we're working on ankle mobility. And to make it more difficult, all you have to do is lean forward. So we're going to alternate. And remember, again, here I'm hinging at the ankle and the knee. and you can alternate, or you can toe touch. Another exercise that you can do for strengthening, not just for stretching, is calf raises. So if my right foot is the one that's bothering me, I'm going to roll up. Remember, again, we're focusing on that mobility of the upper part of the foot. So I'm going to roll all the way up and then back down. This is something super easy that even if you don't have much equipment, you can do this at home, and your feet and your legs will thank you for it. So I would really love to hear from you guys in terms of what you thought about this video. If you have these kinds of aches and pains, I'd love to know if you try these exercises or these stretches, and if you thought they worked for you or they were effective. I would love to hear it. If you've also got other things that bother you, your back, your knees, your shoulders, you know, all that kind of stuff at the end of the day. I know that we had some hand pain mentioned in the other videos, so just give me all your suggestions. I'm definitely making a list, and I'm making sure to do my research first so that I'm not just telling you guys what works for me. I have actually had plantar fasciitis in the past, and it was a nightmare to get rid of. I temporarily tried what was a very aggressive solution, which was a boot, and it did not do half as much good for me as the ice water bottle and stretching every night with a towel actually before I went to bed, and stretching in the mornings as soon as I got up. Because what's going to happen, especially if you guys notice that you have morning time pain, those tendons and ligaments have stiffened overnight. And so when you get up in the morning and your feet hit the floor, you're just in so much pain. So take 3 extra minutes, do your towel assists and your toe crunches in the morning before you even get your day started, and your feet will definitely thank you for it. All right, you guys, so that'll do it. Please remember, this entire series is motivated and driven by your feedback because I want to help you. If you liked what you saw, give us a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications because we're definitely going to be doing more of these. Let me know what you thought in the comments.